It's been quite a chaotic period for the royals with the Queen gone. While it might be entertaining for us, there's a lot going on in the family and the palace. And since King Charles has ascended to the throne, it's only sensible that you should know about the new monarch. Today, we're going to be helping you out with just that. Let's look at 8 facts about the new monarch. Starting with his love for the environment. Protecting the environment is one of Charles's primary interests. He has long advocated for measures to combat climate change and was once described as ahead of the curve on the subject by Prince Albert of Monaco. His personal life is also an example of his commitment to sustainable techniques. He believes in organic farming and founded Duchy Origins to provide consumers with goods that are ethically and environmentally responsible. The man converted his classic Aston Martin to operate on bioethanol fuel, which is produced from unused English wine. As a farmer, he tends to his land with his own green fingers. He has even revealed that he instructs his plants using conversation. Next up, his passion for painting. You might not know this, but the new king is very much obsessed with paint. Actually, he's one of the most popular contemporary artists in Britain. Landscapes are Charles' forte, and he's earned $3 million off of them since 1997. This isn't, however, a way for him to become wealthy quickly. Not that he needs any assistance with that. The Prince of Wales Philanthropic Foundation benefits from Charles' generosity. The price of one of his lithographs ranges from $3,600 to over $21,000. Would you consider owning his pieces? We definitely wouldn't mind getting our hands on his work. Following up, he's pretty vocal about political issues. Now this one is truly a shock. If you've been following the royal family, you'd be well aware of how hush-hush the entire clan tends to be when it comes to raising voice for political issues. Charles has been more outspoken on political issues than his mother, Queen Elizabeth, who is known for keeping her impartiality well hidden. Famously, in a speech he gave on Islam and the West in 1993, he said, "There is nothing to be gained and much harm to be done by refusing to comprehend the extent to which many people in the Islamic world genuinely fear our own Western materialism and mass culture as a deadly challenge to their Islamic culture and way of life." He's also well known for his correspondence with various high-ranking officials in the British government, part of which was released in the Black Spider Memos, so called because of the spidery appearances of his handwriting. Not to forget, he's a children's book author. Is there literally anything this man can't do? Looks like the people of the UK are in good hands. King Charles III, the next monarch of Britain, is an avid reader, so much so that he has written many novels, including one aimed at young readers. The Old Man of Nagar was written by Charles III, known as Charles, Prince of Wales, and published in 1980. King Charles III's age at the time was around about 31, a story about an elderly man who lived in a cave in the cliffs near the quarry lake Nagar, which is atop a mountain that looks down on the royal family's Balmoral Castle in Scotland, illustrated by Sir Hugh Castle. It's interesting that he had recounted this tale to his younger brothers, Andrew and Ed, while they were younger, and had it published. BBC converted Prince Charles' The Old Man of Nagar into an animated short film, with Robbie Coltrane lending his voice to the hermit and Charles himself providing narration. From what I can tell, the novel was also turned into a musical and ballet, both of which have been performed. What's more, it's not just children's books. King Charles III of England grew to love organic farming, gardening, and the arts throughout the course of his long life. This is why he has authored works on such diverse topics as landscape design, gardening, and environmental conservation. Highgrove, an English country garden, the Prince's speech on future of food, and climate change are just a few of his published publications that showcase his knowledge in these areas. Even more so, Camilla, his wife, and the Queen Consort share the king's passion for the arts and literature. Indeed, she's so devoted to the royal family's literature that she hosts a virtual book club called the Reading Group. Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, now Queen Consort, hosts a seasonal book club where she recommends books to her fellow readers and leads lively discussions about them. She also hosts fascinating interviews with best-selling writers. Moving on, he made an experimental town. Now, that's what you call privilege. Imagine just confusing up a whole town because you feel like doing an experiment. We aspire to get to this level of wealth. In the 1980s, the West Dorset District Council intended to grow and revitalize the town of Poundburg, an idea Prince Charles endorsed wholeheartedly, saying it should become a model of new urbanism. The land on which the development was constructed, known as the Duchy of Cornwall, belonged to King Charles III until only last week when Prince William became his legal heir. Located on the outskirts of Dorchester, Dorset, this town was built according to royally sanctioned traditional plans and is now home to 4,200 people. The future King Charles II, then known as the Prince of Wales, advocated for communities to be compact enough that residents could easily walk to nearby amenities, like grocery stores, coffee shops, and schools, while maintaining a sense of identity as part of a larger urban whole. He was especially unhappy at housing developments being erected in industrial parks, which had no real access to bars, the odd store, and schools far away. When he first came out in favor of the Poundbury in the 1980s, he declared, "This should not be another lifeless housing revitalizing the state with a business park added on. King Charles III's plan for Poundbury included modeling it after European towns known for their broad sidewalks and safe pedestrian walkway. Over 2,000 people are employed in the town's local companies, and more are relocating there every year. The town plaza is home to a statue of Queen Elizabeth II's mother, in honor of Her Majesty. Floral offerings have been accumulating atop the monument. Here's what you can expect from the place. Winding roads and a lack of traffic signage are two more tactics that the municipality employs to slow down cars. The locals frequent a bar called the Duchess of Cornwall, but the pricey hummus flatbread and almost $20 venison are turnoffs. Residents may also conduct their weekly shopping at Waitrose, a posh supermarket. Since only about a third of the homes here are categorized as cheap rental accommodations, the region is not exactly teeming with young people. Data from the 2011 census shows that 32.9% of the population is 65 and old, while 51.4% is between the ages of 16 and 64. Moving on, he has a frog named after him. Many prestigious organizations have conferred honors on. The Vanuatu people of the South Pacific made Charles their chief. The Red Crow people of Alberta, Canada made him an honorary chief, and the Maasai people of Tanzania named him Helper of the Cows. Charles was overjoyed when in 2012, a rare frog in Ecuador was named after him in recognition of his efforts to protect the Amazon rainforest. The frog is called the Hylocertus Prince Charles, in acknowledgement of his work to protect rainforests throughout the globe. Conservation Group awarded the prince with this honor. The organization Amphibian Art, which worked to rescue threatened species, gave the frog the name Charles. A representative for the species states it is endangered and needs to be protected in the wild. Its rainforest habitat is under threat due to the impact of farming. It's fairly unusual to name a new species after someone, but this is seen as something special in honor of the prince. King Charles' parent has spent years fighting for the preservation of the planet's rainforest. Finally, his secret nickname is Unicorn. Charles was given the code name Unicorn, which is given to some foreign dignitaries visiting the United States. The imaginative name is weirdly appropriate considering that the unicorn is Scotland's national animal and has been part of its coat of arms for around 600 years. But in the late 1300s, it's speculated that either Robert II or III utilized unicorns as part of the arms and doorway of Rothesay Castle on the Isle of Bute, Scotland, making it the first instance of a Scottish king adopting the unicorn as a symbol of strength. Duke of Rothesay is one of King Charles III's first titles, bestowed upon him at age 5. Now here is a bonus hack. Tricia Nixon, the eldest daughter of President Nixon, married in the Rose Garden of the White House first time in 1971. However, her father was attempting to arrange a marriage for the future King of England the summer before. Charles and Princess Anne visited Washington, D.C. on an unofficial trip when they were 21 and 19 respectively. They were treated like royal dignitaries and given lodgings in the White House, as well as tours of local museums and attractions in Washington, D.C. Charles was delighted by the president's initiatives, even though he didn't get along with the first daughter. Bedell Smith claims that Charles would describe her ungenerously as artificial and plastic. On a trip to Washington with Camilla many years later, he was still cracking up about Nixon's attempt at matchmaking. That's a wrap for this video. So which of these facts shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.